How's everyone doing today? I'm be doing Certified Menace on Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. So, the first scene I have of Patrick Bateman written down basically is that he's walking through an alleyway after doing a nice hard days of work and getting a nice deserved reward after work. He's walking down an alleyway. He comes across a homeless man, despicable, and he basically just asks him, "Yo, why are you homeless? Why are you out on the streets? This ain't the house. Did you know us?" And he's like, yeah, why don't you get a job, Al? Yeah, you stink as shit, bro. You reek a fucking ass. Like, why don't you go take a shower?" And then, I think he gave him some money before, and then he leans down to open up his briefcase because then Al thinks he won the lottery. He thinks he thinks he's about to get a paycheck, but then the only paycheck he's getting is a fucking knife to the gut because Patrick Bateman whips out a knife out of the suitcase and just proceeds to stab him to death. And then the dog starts barking. Patrick Bateman's like, "What are you saying?" And just starts stomping the dog out. Fucking brutal. So we cut back to Patrick, who's brought back his new boyfriend back to his apartment, Paul Allen, because he's after having dinner with him, and they're back at his place, and Paul Allen's drunk off the Henny. He doesn't know what's going on. So this is literally the perfect moment for Patrick Bateman to kill him. He's there talking about Huey Lewis in the news to him, and the Paul Allen doesn't really seem to give a shit. He asks Paul Allen, "Yo, do you like Huey Lewis?" He's like, "Yeah, they're okay. I don't really listen to them." And he's like questioning shit as well. He's like, "Oh yeah, why is there newspaper on the ground and all? Why are you wearing a raincoat?" But he's too drunk to be aware, so Patrick Bateman's kind of able to lie his way out of it. And basically, he's talking about Huey Lewis, and then he asks Paul, "Hey, Paul!" And he whips out a fucking axe and just starts hacking him to death. He just basically chops him up with the axe. Not before saying, "Try to get a reservation now at Dorcy, you stupid bastard," and then just fucking kills him. And after that, he does the most Sigma Chad move ever. Sits down, smokes a cigar. Then afterwards, after he killed Paul Allen, he basically puts his body in a body bag and drags it through the fucking hotel. What an idiot, bro. You didn't even try to hide it or anything. You just straight dragged it on face. Like, yeah, I'm just like carrying a dead corpse. I went grocery shopping, don't mind me. And he goes to his car. He's nearly got away from him, but then some gay guy that wants to suck his dick that works in the same building as him just appears out of nowhere with his missus and basically just starts talking to him, yap sesh. So he ends up at he goes to Paul Allen's place, and then he tries to make it look like Paul Allen went on a vacation to London. So basically he starts taking all Paul Allen's clothes, starts packing them in the suitcase. At first I thought he was going to try and rob him, but then I remember, he does try and make it look like Paul Allen went on vacation. Then he just leaves on the answering scene, I just went to London a few days, see you later. Patrick Bateman is a man of divine taste. He has the highest standards for everything. So he goes to some back ass alley, gets some random prostitute and brings him home. And then he invites another woman, and I think she's a hooker as well. And basically he just does the casual, sucking, fucking, kicks them out. But before kicking them out, the next day after he wakes up, she's like, "Oh yeah, can we leave? Can I just like go home? I'm done taking her up the ass for a day." And then she's like, "Oh yeah, no, we're not through yet." And as the scene cuts off, you could just see him holding a coat hanger, and then it cuts back to them leaving his house. She's like, one of the prostitutes is all bloodied up. She has a fucking scar on her. She has like cuts on her back, and she doesn't really take the money in like a friendly way. She just sort of snatches it and just leaves. I'm thinking, what did Patrick Bateman do? And I'm fairly sure what he did is he put the coat hanger inside her vag and shoved it all the way up whole, which is pretty fucked. He tried to do a budget abortion. He does this again, inviting another prostitute, but you don't really get to see anything. You just it's sort of just alluded to what he does, because after he invited the next prostitute, it cuts to him in his office, just fiddling with her lock of hair like it's a fidget spinner. And then Gene walks in, his secretary. And then he pretends to be doing a crossword, and but all is written on his crossword is bones, meat, boner, I want to beat my meat. So then he basically asks her out on a day, and then he basically tells her, decide where do you want to eat. And then she's like, "Oh yeah, Dorcia." And then he brings up Dorcia. They laugh in his face, time to go fuck himself because he's too broke. So then he basically invites her back at his place for some pregame. And then when he's there talking to her, he mentions he can't really control his willpower as he's opening cupboards and like caressing blades like they're his little pet terriers. And he basically just has a regular conversation with her. It's like, "Oh yeah, what do you want to do in life? Like what's your end game goal?" As he's like caressing big ass fucking blades. He has a cleaver. He opens up like a closet, and there's like a load of fucking tools in there. There's a chainsaw, there's a nail gun, there's even some duct tape, and then he whips out a gun, and he basically just like holds her. He literally points at her head without her even noticing. She never turns around or anything. And he basically tells her, get the fuck out. You smell as shit. You didn't shower. He basically just says, yeah, something bad is gonna happen. I'm gonna turn violent and break your legs if you don't leave. So you're better off leaving. And she does. So he goes to pick up Christy again. After last time, and he basically goes to pick up Christy, and she's more worried about his degeneracy. She's more worried about what type of person she is. So she's kind of trying to keep his distance from him. He literally is such a wealthy man. He's such a rich bitch that he has enough money to pay her just to come in and have a little chit chat. So she basically does go in the car, starts talking to him. She mentions that she needed to go to the ICU. I'm fairly sure she needed to do surgery after last time. So yeah, that's pretty fucked. Maybe he did use the coat hanger for an abortion. And she tries to get out of the car. She tries walking away, tries social distance from him. And he's like, come here, little doggy. Come here, good girl. I have more money for you. There's a lot more where that came from. So he basically takes her back to his house and takes her back to his house. And as they're driving, he basically says, "Oh, your name's gonna be Christine. I'm inviting this other woman. She's a really nice person, and I just want to get to know her." So then we get to Patrick, and he's basically getting the best use of his free trial of prostitutes, because he's fucking one of them. He's fucking Elizabeth, who's the one that he wants to get to know her. And as he's fucking her, it starts to get a little bit more violent. The sheets get bloody and all, and she's on her period. She starts she starts sounding like she really just wants some help. It's not really moans of joy, it's moans of please get the fuck away from me. So Christine starts getting weirded out, and Patrick Bateman reveals himself from underneath the covers. He's like all bloodied up and shit. He had a bit too much. He's like a vampire or something. So then she runs away screaming, frantically panicking as she's running around his house. She runs into a closet and finds 2 dead corpses. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know if these were corpses at first, because they kind of just looked like mannequins to me. But she gets to the other side of his house. As he comes around the corner with a fucking chainsaw, just all naked, cock and balls hanging out and all. So she runs through a room to get to the other side of his apartment. She ends up running into the bathroom, finds some guy passed out on the ground after having too much to drink the night before. And then Patrick Bateman comes around. He's starving, so he has the munchies. He bites on her leg, starts chowing down on that nice old chicken dinner, and then she kicks him in the face. She runs out the apartment. She's like frantically fucking banging on the doors, but no one's answering her. No one either gives a shit, or no one's just home, or she's in an abandoned apartment complex. But she's running down the stairs, and Patrick Bateman does the most cartoonish shit ever. He runs up to the railing, and he literally has his chainsaw, and he's aiming it at her like it's a fucking AK. He's like, alright, where am I gonna slice this bitch up? Yeah, we drop it here. So the chainsaw drops and it goes into her back. So we cut to Patrick Bateman, who's going to take out some money out of his he just goes to an ATM. He puts a card in, and then a kitty cat comes by, so he picks it up, fucking breaks his neck, and throws it in the bin. He's holding the cat, and then the ATM just says, "Feed me a stray cat." This fucking ATM is having mad munchies. He wants a whole ass cat, the fat fuck. So he basically tries to shove the cat in the ATM. He's like, wondering, why don't you go in? He's acting as if it's another debit card they just pulled out of his wallet. It won't go in for some reason. So he just whips out a fucking Glock. He's about to shoot the cat, but then some elderly woman just comes out of nowhere, and she's like, stop, what are you doing? You can't kill that cat. He's thinking, bitch, I'm expressing my human rights. So he expresses his rights to take a life and kills her. And then the police come up around the bank around the corner, and he continues briskly walking away, but then he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, it's not time to lock. It's time to lock in. It's time to run away. He sprints off. He tries the car doors and kicks one of them because he's trying to cause a distraction, make them waste their time being like, you fucking nerds, you got away. So he continues running from the police. And he ends up getting caught by them, and they basically tell him, we have you surrounded, drop your weapons, we won't, take you without beating the shit out of you. So he's about to drop his weapons. He's about to, you want me to drop this? And then he's like, nah, actually. So then he gets into a gunfight with the police. He shoots at them. He kills one of them, and he shoots. I'm very sure he shot the car a couple of times trying to shoot them. The car goes boom. He literally looks at his gun as if it's a mini bazooka that he just pulled out of his ass, and just he just explodes some shit. He's wondering, what this shit is this? So he basically runs into an apartment complex, and everything seems chill at first, but then there's a receptionist who tells him, what's up, Smith? Don't forget to sign in early this morning. So Patrick whips out his Smith, and fucking shoots him. So he's about to run out the door, but just as he's gone out the swivel doors, the janitor comes down from the elevator, and he has to go back around to clear out the lobby, and then he goes toward to his the place he works at, Pierce's and Pierce, I think so. Yeah, he goes to his office basically to bitch out and tell his lawyer, I killed everyone. I killed 20, 40 people. I killed a woman. I killed my old girlfriend. I killed someone else. I killed this. He basically just starts, crying and whining on the phone. But turns out the lawyer didn't even fucking believe him. He thought it was a whole fucking theatrical act. He thought Patrick Bateman was saying his preparing his piece for his comedian act because the guy thought it was a big joke and found it funny. And turns out Patrick Bateman apparently didn't kill Paul Allen because the guy was having dinner with him in London like a couple of days ago. A bit of a coincidence as well that Patrick Bateman lied about him going to London. So, yeah, that was pretty much me doing Certified Menace on Patrick Bateman, American Psycho. See you later.